stage at the Magnetic Festival in Prague. So, Chuckie, first time in playing in Prague, first time at Magnetic Festival. How often do you come here?
To be honest, when I woke up this morning, I thought it was my first time in Prague, and I'm like, hold on, no. Exactly 1 year ago, I played here as well. It was with Avicii, and it was so much fun. So it's not my first time. I had so much fun. I'm so glad to be back here, and obviously, the vibe is amazing. People are screaming, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun for me tonight.
And what's your kind of vibe in the DJ booth now? I mean, what you're playing? Have you changed the way you play? I mean, I haven't seen you play for about 3 years, and it was still that kind of electro-y sound.
Yeah,
really.
my kind of vibe in the DJ booth, it's like I kind of evolved from back then because the records and the sound changed. But I still put in the same energy. Like I still have a little, I would say like a little hip hop angle in my sets, although it's electronic music. But the vibe is like a little hip hop, but high energy,
Like hype, hype.
I like to bang out the tunes and keep it interesting and kind of tell a story with short fragments of records.
Okay. And which records are doing it for you now? I mean, like what are you looking forward to playing tonight? Have you got any new stuff?
Yes, definitely. My latest single called Down to This, with two guys from Canada called Zico and Torres. That record has been going on for me like the last couple of months. Definitely looking forward to play some of the new Night Party EP. I love those guys. Man.
Everybody's been talking about those.
Yeah, so I'm really hyped to play some of those records. And I made some special edits for tonight, especially for the Magnetic Festival. So I'm really looking forward to the set.
And do you edit on the road? Can you work on the road? I mean, or
yeah.
You can.
I'm so much on the road, that I learned how to work on the road. So I nowadays, my whole setup is based on being on the road. So I found the right headphones for myself.
Tell me what headphones. I mean, we love.
Well, it's nothing special. I use the Beats by Dre, but I kind of learned how to work with it.
You got used to listening to other people's music, got it in out this sound. And what about on your laptop? Are you an Ableton guy, Logic guy?
I'm an Ableton guy. I have my plugins, my little chains going on. And most important is that it's that you get that constant inspiration. That's also really hard when you tour a lot. So I try to be inspired a lot by my environment. So this is why every time I have a gig, I come early, listen to other DJs, listen to people's music, and even from the warm-up DJs I learn a lot because they always play the music you would never think about, but it's so perfect for the night. So I kind of try to get inspired from all angles.
Have you ever had any warm-up DJ problems though, where they played like five of your records?
I feel that a lot of warm-up DJs kind of lost the art of warming up, and they try to be the headliner, which is wrong because you need to put the right record on the right moment. So sometimes I go to gigs and I hear amazing warm-up DJs. So that's why for me, I kind of like to go early and see what's happening, and like to get surprised by, let's say, the
And it's kind of a tough gig, isn't it, a warm-up DJ? I mean, a lot of our readers might be the warm-up DJ or the resident, and to keep it interesting, but
Well, it's really simple. The thing is, like when you go for dinner, you don't start with a main course. You don't end with a main course. So you have to build it up. And this is the kind of role the warm-up DJ has. You start with a nice appetizer, and work your way towards the main course. So you cannot be the appetizer and try to be the main course.
So are you main course tonight, or are you dessert?
I'm the main course and the dessert. No, I would say I'm the nice wine and the dessert.
Okay. Why have you moved to Aruba? Is that not made your life mega complicated traveling?
Moving to Aruba was a good choice for me because first of all, I tour a lot in America, so that's why it's a good choice. And I play in South America a lot, so Aruba's kind of in the middle of it. So that's a great hub for me. So that's why I moved to Aruba. But also because the weather is super nice. It's summertime. It's 24/7, 365 days a year. So.
And coming from Amsterdam,
where you cannot kind of predict the weather. It's really hard to predict the weather in Amsterdam. So in Aruba, it's perfect.
If we were to talk DJ Tech Rider, what's on your Tech Rider?
Oh, my Tech Rider is real simple. I don't do all the fancy stuff because I'm the kind of guy I forget everything. So I only travel with I mean on stage I only need my USB, but in my rider it has like CDJ 2000s, like 2 on the left side, 2 on the right side, CDJ 900 in the middle. You know, and that's kind of everything.
All linked.
All linked, and that's all I need. You know, it's for me it's kind of hard when I'm DJing and then the next DJ comes and try to plug in all his, you know, laptops and controllers. So
It's a bit distracting.
yeah. So for me, you know, I'm too messy for that stuff. So
I mean,
I just want to plug in a USB.
Do you think there'll be a change? I mean, there's a few DJs that are, you know, obviously laptops and stuff, but the majority that I interview seem to still be CDJs. I mean, but the next generation, it seems, are laptop DJs, like, you know, like
but you know what?
clubs and the warm-up DJs are laptop DJs.
It has a big advantage, you know, to play with a laptop because obviously your music can be way more synced, so it kind of leaves you more space to be more creative, you know, and think about stuff you could never do with a CD.
Who do you think does it the best that you've heard? Like, does the laptop stuff the best? Because
it's so hard to say. But for example, if you see this hip hop DJ called DJ Craze playing with a laptop, you don't even know what's going on. He's killing it.
and who in your mind is the most technical CDJ, like operator?
You know, it's, you know, everybody says it, but I really like David Guetta. You know, he puts in so much work in his sets, and it's always like very interesting for a regular visitor, but also for a real music head and for real technical DJs. It's really interesting to see Laid Back Luke playing.
Okay, I've asked this for every DJ. So, worst DJ gig, as in like disaster. You know, you show up, everything's wrong. Talk about the worst DJ gig you've ever had.
Worst DJ gig is kind of hard. Let me
Not
think.
that you necessarily got a, you know, bad reception or anything like that. Just
the worst DJ gigs in general are the gigs where like the whole setup is nice and it's super crowded, and then the volume is way too soft. You know, those are the worst. And I had a couple of those. You know, because you cannot really tell your story and the people don't feel the vibe of the music. So, but to name an example is really hard.
have you not had any like, you know, CDJs crashing or?
Oh yeah.
Like,
but you know what?
Technical disasters.
You know what happened to me? Like I had to play in Ultra this year in Miami, and then the sun was out obviously, and it was so hot. I couldn't even touch the CDJs on the mix because it was so hot, and then apparently one of the CDJs just crashed because of the heat.
Just overheated.
Nobody here heard it because I had enough, but you know I could save it on the last minute. But
I guess they're just like a laptop inside, really. They're just a computer, so.
Exactly, you know. But it was really hard to play. The circumstances were really hard. The mixer was super hot, and the CDJs were like burning.
That's a good DJ complaint, now, isn't it?
And then, you know, because the sun is out, you can't read the display, so I had to be like. But I wouldn't say.
DJ because it's too hot. It's too nice.
I wouldn't say it was my worst gig because I came out with Slash, you know, from Guns N' Roses. So that kind of made it up.
So how did that happen?
Me and Slash been good friends for a while now, and his wife, lovely wife, Perla Hudson. So whenever I'm in LA, we kick it, we hang out. I go by the house. I celebrated Christmas with them, and then one day we were like, you know, we gotta mix it up. We weren't even talking about music, but at a certain point we were like, you know what? Let's try to make it happen.
So did people know, or did he just appear and it was like?
No, we prepared it, you know, but people didn't know.
People didn't know, so he walked out there.
So we had a little riser coming up, did a moving part on stage, and then all of a sudden Slash was standing there. So people were like, wow.
Because, you know, everybody knows what he looks like from...
Exactly, the guy with the big hat, you know. So when he came out, and everybody apparently was talking about it because, you know, on a stage like that, everybody try to bring something extra to the table.
And what's Slash's views on like what you do, like on electronic music?
Well, he's more of a groove kind of guy, you know. So he'll go with anything, you know. And that's why it was so cool to work with him. So I played him a beat, and he was like, okay, let's jam. And then I cut out some parts, rearranged it, and then he replayed it.
So would you think you'll work together again?
Yeah, definitely.
And what's coming up for you for the rest of the year? Like albums, singles?
It's like I just released a club record, but soon I just recorded a video. I wouldn't call it hip hop, but I wouldn't call it electronic music. But it features Lupe Fiasco, Slow the Product, and Too Short. And it's like a down tempo record, but it's still, you know, it's still cool, and you still hear the electronic music in it. And then I have like I call it a super radio record because it has so much vocals in it. It's together with Mayday, co-produced by Stargate from Rihanna and them. And then busy recording so many songs. I literally have sessions like every 2 weeks. I book out a studio, and it's not that I try to produce something with a purpose. I just go in and try to make music, and hopefully by doing that, I'll come up with an album.
Okay, and this is around the world. You just book studios.
Yeah. And then
So,
of course,
favorite studios that you've been to in the world then?
I like the Atlantic Studio in LA, but there's another one called Boom 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 in LA. I like a lot.
Oh, Will Smith's place.
Yeah, Will Smith's place. Let me think. Triangle Studio in Atlanta. It's one of my favorite ones.
Ah.
And then my studio in Aruba on the beach. It's just a laptop. It's just a laptop and me on the beach.
Amazing. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for speaking to me, man. I really appreciate the time. Thank you.
Magnetic Festival, baby. I'm back, motherfuckers. It's your boy Chuckie representing the dirty motherfucking Dutch bitches. I had to get it out, you know.
Do it,
Had to
man.
get it out of my system.